You know, right now, we are living through something pretty wild. The entire rulebook for our economy, for our society, is being torn up and rewritten in real time. And the engine driving all of this change? You guessed it. It's artificial intelligence.
So we're usually told there are two paths ahead, right? A dark one, this techno-feudalism where a handful of tech giants basically become digital kings. Or a bright one, a post-scarcity utopia where AI solves all our problems. But here's the thing. According to the folks who study this, we're not just choosing one path, we're getting both at the same time. It's a chaotic, head-on collision.
And that right there is the central puzzle we're going to get into. How on earth is it possible? How can AI promise this world of unbelievable abundance, while at the same time it's threatening to dismantle the very systems that hold our society together? Let's figure it out.
Okay, so to get our heads around this, we have to start with a really big, kind of radical idea. The capitalism we all grew up with, it's on its way out. It's being replaced by something, well, something very different.
The economist Yanis Varoufakis has a name for it, techno-feudalism. And the idea is pretty simple. Tech giants aren't just in the market anymore, they are the market. They're like digital landlords who own the land everything is built on. And the real money isn't in selling products, it's in charging cloud rent just for access. Think about the cut Apple takes from every app, or the fees Uber takes from every ride. You're not their customer. You're what Varoufakis calls a cloud serf, working on their land for free, generating data that makes the new lords incredibly rich.
And this table really breaks it down, right? In the old days, the big asset was machinery. Now, it's AI models. Revenue used to be about profit. Now, it's all about rent. But here's the real kicker. Look at the role of labor. It shifted from being a paid worker to being an unpaid cloud serf. And that means the free market isn't really setting prices anymore. It's all done by secret algorithms designed to extract as much value as possible.
For a long time, we were told this comforting story, that AI would just be our helpful co-pilot, making us better at our jobs. Well, that story is a nice piece of history now. We are officially in the age of AI-driven replacement. And it's not just one type of job, it's coming from all sides in what you could call a pincer movement. First, you have these new AI agents that can think and act for themselves, and they're starting to replace cognitive jobs, middle managers, even entry-level programmers. Second, generative AI is making creative work like writing and design so cheap it's practically free, which is crushing the gig economy. And third, you have humanoid robots on the horizon, ready to take over physical labor.
This brings us to a really chilling concept from historian Yuval Noah Harari, the useless class. Now, this isn't about people being lazy or unwilling to work. This is about people being unemployable. Their skills are just obsolete. And when work, which for so many of us is a huge source of meaning and identity, is no longer on the table, that's not just an economic crisis. That's a deep, profound social and psychological crisis.
But here's that paradox again. Just as this massive abyss is opening up for workers, AI is also dangling this incredible promise of abundance in front of us. The only problem? That utopian dream is about to smash headfirst into a giant physical wall.
I mean, just imagine it for a second. New medicines discovered in a matter of months, not decades. Houses 3D printed in a single day. Expert-level medical diagnoses right on your phone. Precision farming that cuts chemical use by 90%. AI is putting the solutions to our biggest problems, like healthcare, housing, and food, right at our fingertips.
So, what's the wall? What's the catch? It's one word: energy. By 2030, the data centers needed to run all this AI are projected to burn through over 1,000 terawatt-hours of electricity a year. To put that in perspective, that is more than the entire nation of Japan uses. This colossal energy demand is the single biggest bottleneck that could bring this whole AI revolution to a grinding, screeching halt.
So, if we connect the dots, we arrive at this critical point. If the job market can't be relied on anymore to spread wealth around, then we literally have to invent a new social contract. The old rules just won't work.
And there are basically two big ideas gaining steam. On one side, you have Universal Basic Income, or UBI. You can think of it as a kind of capitalist band-aid. Give everyone enough cash to survive so they can keep buying stuff. On the other side, you have Universal Basic Services, or UBS. This one's way more radical. The idea here is to just provide the essentials, housing, healthcare, transport, for free. Take survival completely out of the market equation.
Of course, the first question everyone asks is, how do you possibly pay for any of this? I mean, our whole tax system is built on people having jobs and paying income tax. If the jobs vanish, so does the government's money. That's why people are floating brand new ideas like a tax on robots, or Sam Altman's idea for a fund that taxes capital instead of labor, or even data dividends where you get paid for the data that companies collect on you.
And for anyone who thinks that basic income just makes people lazy, well, the actual data tells a very different story. A big experiment in Stockton, California found that when you gave people just $500 a month, they were actually twice as likely to find a full-time job. It turns out that little bit of stability is exactly what people need to get on their feet.
So all of this brings us right back to where we started. We're standing at a massive fork in the road. The choices we make right now are going to define two completely different futures.
On one path, you've got the dark timeline, techno-feudalism, a huge useless class kept quiet with digital distractions, and corporations more powerful than governments. But on the other path, you have the light timeline, a post-scarcity world where we're finally free to be creative and data is a public resource that benefits everyone. Now here's the tough part. The path of least resistance, our current momentum, it's drifting towards the dark timeline. Getting to the good one won't happen by accident. It's going to take bold, deliberate, and probably radical new policies.
So at the end of the day, the biggest question isn't what will AI do to us? The real question is, what will we choose to do with AI? The future isn't some fixed destination we're heading towards. It's something we build. But as the machines get better and better at writing the code, the question is, do we still have the collective will to write a story that works for all of us?